Today, I am going to show you how accepting donation payments like this is actually an awful lot easier than you might think, simply using your WordPress website and one amazing plugin. So let's get into it. How are we going to achieve what I just showed you? The first thing we need to do is to grab the plugin that we need. In order to do that, we need to be on our WordPress admin dashboard. Now, I already have it here installed, Charitable, but I'm just going to quickly show you where it is so you can get it yourself. If you go to plugins here and go to add new plugin from your dashboard. From there, we're going to come up to the top right-hand side and we're going to type in Charitable. There it is, the absolute top option, 5 stars, 10,000 active installations. We absolutely want this. So you're just going to click here where it's going to say install now, and then you're going to activate that plugin. Really, really easy. So from here, Charitable will either direct you directly to the homepage, to its dashboard, or just come over here to your sidebar and click on Charitable. That will take you through to the dashboard, which is where we need to be for the next step. So once you're on the Charitable dashboard, you can see there's a green button just here, which says Create Campaign. So you just click that, it will take you through to the campaign builder, campaign wizard, or if you can't see that, we can come down to the campaign screen, again in the sidebar, and we can click on campaigns. And that's going to drop us here. This is showing me all the campaigns that I currently have live, and I have one, as you can see here, that is published. And we can come up to this green button instead from the campaign screen and click Add New here. It's going to do the same thing either way. Now from here, you have a couple of options. You can start with a blank template and completely customize your own charitable campaign. However, I find it much easier to use some of the templates that are available. So you just pick a template that you like the look of. You can change and modify every single element of the template, so you don't need to worry about what the content is, just that you like the look. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this one down here, and I'm just going to click on Create Campaign. So you can see here the template that we have been given. It looks great, but it's for youth sports, which is nothing to do with my charity website that I've built here. Now, my charity website is, of course, for a fictional website, but it's to help young people. It's help young people from different backgrounds who need assistance, need support. So we need to change this up. Let's go back to our campaign. And the first thing I'm going to do is just amend some of the details that are already here. So let's start with the campaign name. So we're just going to come over here, click on the little pencil icon. And then on the left-hand side, we can immediately change that campaign title. So I'm going to click here and I'm just going to change this to Help Kids Worldwide. There we go. Now you can also change this from the top here where it says name your campaign. You can change this again at any time and it will adjust the title of your campaign as well. So if we just add a now in there, you can see that that's adjusted. It's very much a what you see is what you get kind of editor, drag and drop, very easy to use and no code required, which we love. Next up, we're going to adjust this image here. Obviously, it doesn't really fit our theme. So again, click on the pencil icon, head across to the sidebar here on the left, and again, an option to upload. So that's what I'm going to do. Click on upload. It's going to take me straight through to my media library, which is attached to all of the pages that I have on my WordPress site. So I can choose any of these images that I've already used across my website, or I can go here to upload files and I can upload a new file from my desktop by either dragging and dropping or clicking here on select files. Let's say I want to use this image here. So I'm going to click on that image and click on open. And that is going to import it into my media library. From here, because we do have a new image, we can change the alt text. This is going to help screen reading tools, and it also can help search engines crawl and rank your website. So we'll just pop the information into there. And once that's done, we can come down into this bottom corner here, and we just click here, and that will immediately amend the image that is on the screen. Now, depending on the size of your image, that's also going to change how this looks, which I will show you. You can see how that's a slightly larger image, so it has slightly adjusted the size of the box. So make sure you have the correct size and shape image that you want to upload there. What you can do is we can come over here and we can change the width of that image to make it smaller if you don't have the correct size image or the size you've used isn't working for you. And again, for exactly the same reasons, we can add the alt text over here. Okay, let's have a look at what else we can do. As we scroll down here, we've got a few other options. There's an overview, updates, and comments. These are all tabs that are present that we can add things to and change. So if we go to the updates here, to the overview here, we can change the title if we want to. And then here we have all the information. Again, this doesn't really match what we're going for, so let's change it. All we need to do is come across to the headline. Let's get rid of the baseball there and let's change the title. Then from here, we can come down, select the text, and we can change this as well to, again, something that suits our cause better. Now, we are using the free version of Charitable, which is still very powerful. There's a couple of elements you don't get, such as this, the team field. You need to upgrade to Pro for that. Now, we'll get into that a little bit later. I do want to talk about Pro and some of the other features, but for now, we're just going to remove it because we are using the free version of Charitable. So let's just delete that field. From here, we want to start amending the functionality and the layout so that it does exactly what you want it to. So the first thing we're going to do is look down at the bottom here on this update section. It is currently empty, but it tells you exactly what you can do. It says the tab is empty, drag a block from the left into this area. So let's go across to the left to the add layout section, and let's find something that we want to add into that area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this social sharing option here, and I'm just going to drag it into this space and drop. You can immediately see that's given me all of our social options, which people can then click on and use to share our campaign on their own social media accounts. So let's adjust how that looks. Let's change the headline to spread the word. Then what we can do is we can come across to the tabs section and we can change where it says updates to socials, just so it makes more sense. And then we can do exactly the same with the comments section. So let's click on comments, go across to add layout, and then we have various options. What do we want to add here? Now we could add a bit of text. Let's grab a text box and put that in there. Change the headline. Here we go. And then in the text box, add some information about what we're going to talk about. So I've added a little bit of text there, which says that donate now to get yourself onto our wall of fame. And that's because I'm going to add another layout option. I'm just going to click on add layout again here. And I'm going to come across to this donation wall down here. So we're going to drag the donation wall, drop it underneath. And there we have. This is going to show when people make donations. So exactly what I've put here. This is our heroes. And we want to celebrate anybody who supported us. It's an incentive for people to donate, gives a little bit of social proof as well, encourages other people to donate, which is great. However, of course, this comments here doesn't really make sense anymore. So let's click on that, go back here, and we're going to call this our wall of fame. So we're starting to create a lot of what we want on our page. We can add a new tab if we want to add another one with yet more information. However, we're happy with that. Let's scroll back up to the top here and take a look at some of the donation options, which are obviously very important with a donations form. So we're going to head across to add layout here, and I'm going to drag in this, the progress bar. Just going to drag it in over here. So once we set a goal for this campaign, this is going to act as a progress bar to see how close we are. Now we can add a headline to this. We can change the donate label and also the goal label if we should want to, but I'm just going to leave those alone. And then what we're going to do is just going to come down to settings here, just on the left. And I'm going to go across to the goal and I'm going to set our goal. So I'm going to set our goal at $5,000 and we can set an end date if we want. Let's do that so I can show you what that looks like. And let's just go for the end of the year. While we're here, I'm also going to go to donation options, and you can see here that you can set the suggested donation amounts. Now this is another template, another layout option that you can add, and it's already actually in our design. You can see it here. But if we want to change those amounts, this is where we're going to do it. This is also going to show up when people press on the donate button, which again, I will show you in just a second. Back over to design, you can now see that that is active. So that is a progress bar that is active, that is showing how close we are to our goal of $5,000. So let's say we are happy with that, but we don't particularly like this blue color. We can come across to our layout options, and then we can go across to the tabs, which you can see below, or the advanced. This is where we want to be. And this is going to be able to change a few things across the whole page that you're looking at. So we can change the tab style. You can see at the moment it's minimum. And then if we change that to rounded, we actually get rounded tabs, and we can change that to boxed if we want as well, like that. We're just going to leave it at minimum. And again, we can change the size of those tabs depending on what we want. What we're actually looking for here is to go to the theme colors, and we're going to change this primary theme. So if I click on the primary theme, and then I'm going to change it to this kind of pink color just here. There we go. And I'm just going to close that up. So obviously that's made some adjustments to our page as a whole. I like it overall, but maybe my donate button doesn't really stand out. So back in advanced, you can see that the button color is orange. So let's click on the button color and let's change that to a green just to make it stand out like that. Absolutely perfect. I much prefer that. Now, do bear in mind, depending on the theme that you're using, what might happen is, irrespective of the color changes you make, Charitable will take on your theme colors and properties in terms of text and how it's presented on each page. Now, I personally prefer that because it makes everything look a bit more uniform, and I will show that to you when we publish the page. So with that done, there's a couple of other things we just want to have a look at. So we're just going to go across to the marketing here. Now, this is where you're going to be able to connect Charitable with your email marketing software to be able to obviously maximize your Charitable campaign. This is only available to Pro Plan users, so just be aware of that, but it is very powerful. Then down to payments, you have two options. You can either link up with Stripe or PayPal. Stripe and PayPal are both automatically included and ready and available to go with Charitable. However, if you want to use some of the other payment options, and there are an awful lot that you can use, you do need the Pro version of Charitable. So do bear that in mind. I'm going to show you how to do this with Stripe. So we're going to click on Stripe here, and we can do this from the Charitable dashboard as well, but on Stripe, and we can go here to enable Stripe. This, of course, requires you to have a Stripe account. You have to be able to connect an existing Stripe account, or you can actually set one up when you get into this process. So you can see this has taken us through to the Charitable settings. So that's what it does when you click that button, or you could have just come here to the sidebar, clicked on settings. Now this will take you to the general settings where you can change things like the base country and currency. But what we're actually interested in here is the payment gateways. So we're going to click on that, and you can see here we have the options for Stripe and PayPal. Stripe's the one we're going to use, so we're going to come across and click on the gateway settings here. You can then change the gateway label if you should want to. I'm just going to leave that as Stripe, and then go to the connection status and press on Connect with Stripe. So from here, it's just a case of following step by step. You're going to enter your email address and follow through to connect your Stripe account. It's very, very easy to do. And as I say, if you don't have a Stripe account, then you can quite simply create one and connect it here. I'm going to do that now. If you're following along, pause the video, you do that as well, and then I'm going to meet you back at the campaign builder where we're going to publish that page that we've just made. Now we are back now on the design page, and what we can do is we can obviously save this as a draft and preview it. What I'm actually just going to do is I'm just going to publish it and save it immediately. So the campaign is now published. So what we're going to do is we're going to embed it onto a page. And what we want to do is we're going to head over to the embed wizard here, click on that. And we have a couple of options. We can either put it into an existing page or we can create a new one. So we're going to create a new page. Just going to enter in the name of the page. I'm just going to call it the same thing as the campaign there. And let's go. So what this is going to do is it's just going to create you a page and take you through to the blocks editor, to your page editor, the same as you would for any other page. So you can see here, we can either click on this little plus icon or the one up here, and we can open the block inserter, and we're going to search for Charitable. This one just here, Charitable campaign. We can drag it onto the page like that, and then we just select the campaign. So you can select one of any of the campaigns you've created. So I showed you earlier that I've already created one campaign on this website. I've now created a second one, which is this one, Help Kids Worldwide. So I'm going to select that one, and that is now going to show on this particular page when we publish it. So let's publish this. Press publish again. So this page is now published. I'm just going to copy the page address because I'm going to attach that to a button. So the final thing I'm going to show you is what this obviously looks like on our page and how to attach it to a button. So I'm going to go here to pages, and I'm just going to look at all pages. And I'm actually going to go down to my home page just here. So you can see the page we've created with Charitable, but what I want to do is I want to add it to a button on my home page. So I'm going to click edit and open up the blocks editor for my home page. I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom because I want to add it to this donate button here. So I'm going to click on here, and it's going to give me the options in general for each separate item, and it's the call to action button where I want to add it. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to go down to the link, and I'm just going to paste in that link that we copied earlier. Just like that, nothing else required. I'm going to come up to the top and click on save. So now from my home page, if I scroll down and I find that donate button just there and I click on it, there we go. We're going to get that page that we created. And exactly as I said, this has taken on the look and feel of my theme. So you can see that we have the donate now button, we have the amounts, we have this section here, which is the progress bar that we spoke about, how long is left and how much has been donated. This is all now showing up on the fully created page. We have our overview that we added, we have our socials, and we have our wall of fame. So here, no donors yet, be the first. So you can see what that looks like and how easy that is to add. What does it look like if we click on donate now? So let's click on here. This is going to take us through so that we can actually make that donation. You have the suggested amounts. We showed you that in settings. Person can add in their details and also their card details and immediately donate. Again, this is with Stripe because this is what we've set up. And if you want to obviously use a different payment method outside of Stripe or PayPal, then you need to upgrade to the Pro version of Charitable. So now we've got our simple individual donations down, we need to maybe start thinking a little bit bigger. So what we're going to do next is we're going to look at crowdfunding, which we can also do with Charitable. And the way to do that is by clicking this video right here.